Hello, hello. Okay, that one's not started. Let's see if we can get you guys. Oh, there we go. We're live. Yay. Okay,
Oh, it's Jodi and Jodi here.
exactly. Okay, pronounce your name the right way because I don't do it that way.
And that's fine. Jodi is fine. I don't care. A lot of people call me Jodi, but if you want to get technical, whether
Yes.
you like tea or coffee, you're going to love me. I'm a cup of Joe and I'm a cup of tea. Jodi.
Jyoti. Okay, so where mine has the D in it, then yours has the T in it. Okay, got it.
Correct. Yeah.
Things you have to learn. Like, wait a minute, I'm pronouncing your name just like I pronounce mine. They're spelled differently.
I know. And I actually pronounced my own name as Jodi for the longest time until
Really?
just recently. Yeah. Yeah. Because everyone called me Jodi. So I said, hey, Jodi here.
Oh,
So,
that
but then I decided, okay, wait a second, let me correct myself before I tell people how to pronounce it.
yeah, well, and, and I've always said Jody, and then it's like, that's not how I know that's not how it's pronounced because it's not how it's
Yeah,
spelled, so we gotta get the
yeah,
technical details right. So, good
right.
afternoon, everybody. Lori, I'm glad you're here, and whoever else dials in. Let's see, nobody's dialed in yet. So I smudged the poop out of this room to the point that I'm like swimming through smoke.
Yeah, it's all that clearing, right? Now we are good.
That's what I get for lighting the sage, thinking it's out, walking out of the room and walking back in. And it's like, ooh, I can't see anything. Oh, Lori. My goodness, girl. So, okay, you were starting your first cycle of chemo in the morning. Okay, so go in there holding the intention that you are healthy, not getting there, not fixing to, just you're healthy now, get in the now. And we'll hold that with you and ask everybody else to as well, because that's how the game works. The universe hears present moment.
Exactly.
Exactly, exactly. So thank you all as you're coming in. I appreciate you. And now that I've had my coaching from Jyoti on how to pronounce her name, even though I've known you for 10 years now, that's the cool thing about doing this live broadcast is like, okay, clean up my act on how I'm pronouncing things.
I know. If it weren't for Zoom, we wouldn't have cared, right?
Exactly. Well, no, I do care. Hi, Sharon. Thank you for moderating for me. I appreciate it. Carly, can you type in the chat whether or not you would like to be a moderator? I'm not going to force it on you unless you want it. So, I think I can breathe. I over smudged. Hi, Barbara.
Yay.
Monterrey, Mexico or California? Which are you from? Shockwave, you changed your name. I saw you announce that on somebody else's page, Mr. Shockwave. Find my email under the about and email me. I have a message for you actually about Texas. California, Monterey, California is beautiful. Oh, yes. Monterey, Texas is too. Actually, I mean, Monterey, Mexico is too, actually. Okay. Okay. We're all here. Okie dokie. I think I'm going to start. Hi, Virginia. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to start with, if I can find, oh, there you are. I moved everything around in this room because I wanted a better backdrop than the wall.
Love it. Yeah,
It's
it's so beautiful.
I can't find anything now. I've knocked the speaker off once, and it's like, okay, this is good. Is Mercury still in retrograde? Oh my goodness! You're not only electronically challenged, but you can't moderate and listen at the same time. That sounds like me. I get the wild finger on the iPhone and block people I'm not supposed to. Okay, go into my original page, Benny, and there is a bar that says community and about and videos and things like that. Far right is about, or under any of the videos, there should be my website that has my email. Actually, you know something? I could do something really brilliant and type it. Excuse me. Let's type it in here. Do 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 do. I have always been a two-finger typist all of my life. I never learned.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I can go pretty fast that way.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Hmm.
Okay, there you go. There is my email. I have a remote viewing group, and I actually got a message for you in one of the things we met at. Okay. This is really short and sweet. Let your peace be materialized in actions. Let your peace be materialized in actions. And as somebody who plays sound healing, it's like the vibrational frequency of peace can be crystallized in a form, in an action to be the peace.
Yes. How simple yet how profound is that?
I love this guy, Pure Vilayat Inayat Khan, started the
Mm.
Omega Center. He's
Mm.
Sufi.
I'll have to
And
get that book. Mm.
this book is just this, for those of us who like cards, I have way too many decks. This
Yeah.
book is like opening up a deck of cards because you can just shuffle through the pages, open it, and there's about, I don't know, 10 different quotes in on
Wow.
2 pages, and then pick the one that resonates. And
And
you know,
it's
it's like
just quotes, huh?
a doorway into journaling or anything else you want to do. So tonight we're
Wow.
doing peace. So
Mm. I love
be,
it.
before we introduce you, I would love to talk about how we met because it was so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dallas Meditation Center. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us how we met.
Okay. So uh, I had a room at the Dallas Meditation Center that I rented out, and I was doing massages from there and Reiki healing. And then suddenly I find out that there's another Jodi coming in and renting a room there and for her sound healing. And then I find out that she's just one door away from me. And we actually had just one door dividing us. And sometimes, every now and then, I would pop open that door and chit chat with you. Remember that? When we had no clients. And yeah, and that was so fun. And then who was it? Was it Deborah who found out? She came in one day for a massage and Reiki healing. And she said, "Hey, did you know Jodi has the same birthday as you?" And I was like, "Oh, really?" Yeah.
11,
So,
11 Scorpios. So then we can hear each other's tail hit the door
oh,
once
yeah.
in a while. Hi.
And
Thank you.
I'm a dragon as per the Chinese calendar.
Chinese.
Yeah, and are you a dragon or you're a horse?
I'm either a goat or a sheep.
Okay,
Sheep.
okay, yeah.
Whatever it is, it
Phew,
doesn't fit
That's
personality.
okay. That's great. Yeah, two dragons would be a lot to handle in one building.
That would be a little much. So I do believe on one of the live streams with Veronica when we were talking about sacred photography, I was talking about having camera and lens envy. It was Jyoti's husband that had the lens on the
I
camera,
know. Yes, yes.
getting pictures of the bald eagle off the back deck.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mhm.
So tell us more about who you are as a healer,
So,
whatever you want to talk about. You and Adrian
yeah.
share the same birthday. All right, Lori.
So, I've done several things in my life, but when I was young, in my younger days, in my teen days, I wanted to be a doctor.
Mhm.
and which I didn't follow through on that. But in 2011, I did my course on massage therapy. Finally, I got into the healing side of me. I kind of opened myself to, well, what do I really want to do? Because I am grown up now. I can't say, what do I want to do when I grow up? So I was like, okay, now is the time. What should I be doing now? And I decided, I had friends who were therapists, and I was at the Dallas Meditation Center coming regularly. And I found out I would like to get into therapy. And the easiest route was to get a license to touch people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So Christine Clemmer, I don't know if you remember her. It's actually her birthday today. Yeah, so she was the one who strongly advised me to get my massage therapy license. And once I did that, the rest was all history because I got into Reiki, got
Mhm.
into Qigong,
Mhm.
and chakra healing, and all of that. And now, of course, I used to teach meditation classes also. So now I'm also a yoga practitioner and teacher.
Mhm.
Uh, and there's a lot I do intuitively, whether the person tells me or not. I can pick up on what they
Mhm.
need. And that's what I do. And I can send Reiki healing uh, even uh, through distance.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah, it's
yeah,
easy.
because there is really no space and time when you think about energy. And you can
Exactly.
send it in the past, you can send it in the future, and just have the person healing.
Exactly. And went to you went back to India to was that where you took some of the yoga training in the last couple of years? I think before I
Yes.
moved up here.
That's where I took my yoga teacher training in India.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that
Yeah, that
was
I remember.
amazing. It was pretty intense. It was
Mhm.
uh, like within a month, I got my certification. So it was every morning, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. in the evening. We would, I was just learning, and they expected us to uh, also practice at home before we came back at 9 o'clock the next day, and it was 5 days a week. So it was really intense, and I had to, after I was done with that and I came back home to Dallas, I had to actually just practice everything for 6 months at least before I felt like, okay, now I know everything that I was taught.
Mhm. Oh, that is so cool. I remember yeah, Texas does need plenty of prayers. I remember talking to you. We must have been on WhatsApp or something while you were in India. I remember sitting in my hibiscus courtyard in
Oh
Plano,
yeah.
chatting with you. It was like I was out. It was one of those rare days where the mosquitoes were down, the temperature was down. I could go outside. That didn't happen a lot in Texas in the last few years. So the thing I remember, I mean, the Dallas Meditation Center was such an amazing, eclectic place. Chi Sing had a lot to do with that, as did Cornell and Bobby. And the building has been taken down to the ground for a parking lot, I think.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, but
I'm sure when people park there to go to a restaurant, they can feel those vibes, and they probably just sit for a few minutes and meditate.
yeah, that's what we
If
did.
if they pause, they can feel the energy, I'm sure.
Yeah, years and years together there. But I
Yes.
remember you were doing, was it the chakra meditations in the smaller room that Tashi used?
Yeah, in the Lotus Room. Yeah, I
The
used to
smaller
teach. Yeah,
Lotus room.
I mean, I
Yeah.
won't say teach, but I used to facilitate chakra meditation. Yes. And that was amazing. And, often I would get people, I mean, I shouldn't say I would get them, but they would, just burst out in tears because the energy was so intense that
Yes.
they themselves were
Yeah.
drawing into their chakras and releasing. unwanted stuff.
Yeah.
So through
Definitely.
tears and
Yeah.
you know, and yeah, there was a lot that I saw. Hmm.
Yeah. That was a my first foray back into Dallas for more than, a couple day visit to teach. I think in Garland is where I was coming. Um, and that center was such the place to be for a while. I mean, the people that I met, I already knew Cornell. Cornell and I were doing music together for a good number
Oh
of
yeah,
years.
at the cave.
Cave, yes, I brought Cornell down to the cave. We were all over the place, but Cornell and Andy teaching yoga. I mean, it was just like all these people that were in this two-room
Mhm.
place, doing
Yeah,
all these amazing
yeah.
classes.
It was kind of like Hogwarts, all these
Yes,
wizards right there.
that's a good description. The Buddhist Hogwarts. That is so cool. And I remember Chi Sing, who was he was a student of Thich Nhat Hanh, so he's
Mhm.
probably with him now.
Yeah.
And um, he would produce these sacred spiritual events that were multidimensional, multicultural, multi spiritual tradition, and that was how I met a lot of the people involved in Center for Spiritual Living and Dallas Meditation Center because he was putting one of those on. And, I was tapped to play Tibetan bowls, sit on the floor and play bowls. And then we had Michael Gott playing piano and Cornell playing flute and dancing and all that. And it was so
Oh
funny because
boy.
me
Yeah.
being the Scorpio that I am, he'd look at me and go, "You have to wear white." I don't wear white, I wear black. He would just look at me and bam. It was an ongoing battle. You gotta have somebody anchoring the shadow work.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, those were really fun days, and the Thai restaurants down the street. I mean,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. The gatherings after meditation, we just go hang out. Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. I mean, we still meet there. I think they're still doing it live. I haven't gone in a few weeks, but yeah,
yeah,
they're in a different building, obviously. But
yeah,
yeah.
they're in a different place. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Some of the same people are still there. That's funny.
Yeah, very few of the same people are there. It's mostly new people.
I know.
Uh,
Did Bobby
but
retire? She was going to retire.
oh, is that right? I have not heard. I haven't gone in a few weeks,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Hmm.
Well, it's so interesting. The when COVID hit and the lockdown happened in Texas, which was in March of 2020, I got Veronica, who's been on this show a number of times, and Cornell, who I need to recruit for this show. I messaged them, and I'm like, we need to get online. I mean, the and I'm going to borrow your name, Benny. The shockwave that hit Dallas when everything shut down was palatable. I mean, everybody
Yes,
is like, now what?
yes.
And we actually came in on StreamYard. It was the first time I'd ever touched it and tried. Cornell and I tried to do our thing together where we play bowls and flutes, and you can't do that on these social
It's hard.
platforms.
Yeah.
We drown
Mhm.
each other out, but it was just we have to do this. We have to communicate with people because this is terrifying.
Yes.
Especially for any of us, which all three of us, our service work, our passion work, and our money making work was going out and being in groups, and that got shut down immediately.
Oh
And
yeah.
it was
Oh,
very, but yeah, that was how I got introduced to StreamYard. That's how, it was just like,
I'm so glad that I had my yoga certification
yeah,
because I couldn't do massages during COVID. So,
exactly.
I wouldn't have had an income if it weren't for yoga. So then I started
Mm,
teaching yoga on Zoom
online,
and
yeah,
getting paid for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Mm.
love it. The lurking people, please hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate that. I love it. We need to make a clan of lurking people. I would like that a lot. I'd never say anything on anybody's page. So, was it during 2020 that you started Sister Power? Was that when it started, or had you
You
started
know,
that?
it was pretty it was synchronicity. I wasn't even aware that COVID was hitting that hard. I
Okay.
started Sister Power in March of 2020, yes.
Same
But I
month. Okay.
didn't know. Yeah. And that's when it had started. It had already started, but it wasn't that bad yet. And
Hmm.
so it was great timing. I mean, women was so appreciative of uh, of Sister Power. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I
So,
didn't have too many people,
mhm.
hitting likes and such, but they would send me messages privately. I
Right.
guess a lot of them didn't want to be seen as they are watching this. Uh,
Yes. So
so,
tell us,
and which is
are
fine.
you willing to tell us about what it is? Because it was such
Yes.
a multicultural, and the time zone thing was hysterical. It's
Yeah.
just I I got to do a few live streams into there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
tell us what it is. Tell us about Sister Power.
So, Sister Power was inspired by, I started that group because I did get inspired by some women who were going through a really rough life, uh,
Uh-huh.
either because of like it, some of them were like PTSD, you know,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
they had been traumatized in the past. Um, and some of them were literally riding that wave at that time, going through uh, being, verbally abused or emotionally abused, some of them even physically abused. And
Right.
I'm not talking about one country or the other. I had gone to India um, maybe 5 times between 2017 and 2019, because for events and such. And while I was there, I did a pilgrimage and also got my dental work done because
Mhm.
why not.
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
uh, so it started in India. I met a couple of ladies over there who were going through a really rough life, and interestingly, when I came back here in between my trips to India, at that time, I was seeing women here being abused. And
Mhm. Mhm.
what I saw, and I'm still seeing that, the same women, some of those same women, even though they have that bad relationship with someone who's, you can say some of them are narcissists.
Mhm.
All they
Mhm.
can think of is themselves. Uh, they're having this bad relationship, but they can't break away.
Yeah. Yes.
Something just keeps them bound to that person. And
Mhm.
I thought, I need to do something about it. I have talent, and also I have speaking skills, meaning I'm a storyteller. I like to
Mhm.
talk and I like to convey
Mhm.
messages.
Mhm.
Um, so I thought I can create a group on Facebook. It's private. You
Mhm.
can't just go join Sister Power on Facebook. You have to be invited.
Mhm.
Uh, and I started giving talks on Sister Power, about what you can do. I don't know if I specifically pointed out what I was doing, like, oh, hey,
Mhm.
you don't have to live with the person who's abusing you. I never said
Mhm.
stuff
Mhm.
like that. But
Mhm.
I was just trying to uh, support the women who were going through a rough life. And I did announce that the reason why I started this is to support women, sister to sister. Let's all
Yeah.
support each other.
Yeah.
And I brought in healers like yourself and Robin Hackett
Mhm.
and many
Mhm.
more. Brought healers and yoga therapists or yoga practitioners. Tiffany was there. And I wanted diversity in there because there were the women who were suffering were from different parts of the world, French, Indian,
Mhm.
uh, Hispanic, South American, and
Mhm.
Americans, North Americans here. So, so I thought it'll be nice if we had healers who are also diverse, and that's what I did. So
Mhm.
it was beautiful, and I didn't. I did invite other women to come of their own accord and do some healing on their own, but they are still not doing that.
Mhm.
I have to invite them, and that's when we do sessions. But I have stopped doing. I'm not so active now on Sister
Mhm.
Power. I think we got what we needed at that time,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
I will come back into it
Yeah.
as and when I am called to do that.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
brought Ayurveda practitioners for to tell us what to eat and how much to eat and when to
Mhm.
eat and when to even drink water and that kind of stuff. And I brought yoga practitioners to teach yoga, and I brought Robin Hackett, and I don't even I brought poets, and I brought someone to talk about LGBTQ plus,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
is needed right now. That kind of
Mhm.
education for the
Mhm.
public is needed. It's okay to be who you are. You
Mhm.
don't have to
Mhm.
be, fit into a box. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
just be who you are, and you will be accepted. Uh, and wherever you're not accepted, you don't have to go. I strongly believe in go where you are celebrated, not
Mhm.
just tolerated.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Good.
So that is sister power. Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been back in the group too. We need to remediate that and have me back in.
Let's do something. Let's do something for sure.
I think I was attempting. Yeah, so I think it was it Debbie? Were you the one that talked about? I can't scroll back up. Oh, I can scroll back up here. Would have been scary having to change and go online. It's like it was. I'll tell you, I've learned more about technology in the last 4 years, and you can shake a stick at.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I know I got some training from you. At one
Well,
time, I was like, how do I do this?
my spirit guides, which include the quote unquote mouthy ones, the Hathors that I am part of the tribe of. Okay, I'm going to attempt to count back to when this was. I think it was either 2010 or 2011. It's a long time ago, and I was living in Bernie on the 400-acre ranch, which is my happy place to live in the country, and still traveling full time basically because I had a home base and I would travel all over Texas. And they started telling me I needed to learn how to do everything I'm doing right now:
Oh, wow.
record, broadcast, have my own technology, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, I'm sitting like, giving me all this information. I'm sitting in the little baby gong room I had. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I have no idea where to start. I don't know who to ask. I don't know where to go. It just wasn't available then.
Yeah,
And about 2 years before, well, 2018, 2017, 2018, all of the technology changed. Like
yeah.
this morning, I'm like, okay, I want to know if I can take one of my videos when I'm out walking and my music off of, my music list and marry them together on my phone, on my
Oh,
iPad. I do
yeah.
not want to have to go to the computer. And I'm sitting there going, Google, Dr. Google, please tell me if I can do this. And they're going, duh, the app that you already paid for, I can go to that one. And it's like, oh, it worked. The technology for those of us who are doing the kind of work that I'm doing now is so simple.
Yes.
And I am so grateful that being the old fart that I am, I really love computers. I mean, they're really fun. So I'm not afraid to go in and learn something. And the Sacred Mouthy ones about 2018 suggested I learn Zoom.
Wow.
Um,
Mm. They prepared you
before,
well and well in advance. Mm.
well, they were saying in the beginning of 2019, they're like, yeah, there's going to be a pandemic. We'll tell you when to create. Okay, am I losing my signal? What is going on there? I didn't plug in the ether. Okay, are you guys hearing me? Am I okay? Because I didn't plug in the Ethernet cable.
I can hear you fine.
Okay,
I'm
good.
sure
Yeah,
they can hear
I'm
you.
getting
Yeah.
I'm getting weird signs. Uh-oh. Um, but I got the message. They were saying that a pandemic was coming in the beginning of 2019, and they give me stuff I would make for music, which those tracks are free. If anybody wants them, just tell me and I'll post them again. But I started working with Zoom, and it's like, okay, I'm going to do this so you hear how bad it sounds. I would be sitting here, playing away, and this
Uh,
should phase out and go silent. This should be cutting in and out. Is it doing that? Like
mhm.
ring, stop. Okay. That's
Yes.
what Zoom did. And we could not figure out why and what was going on. And I got on chat with somebody in Zoom, and I'm like, what's going on? Every time I play my bowls, it's like I'm playing something, and then I'm talking and playing, and there's dead silence. And
Mm.
the helper is like, we have built-in echo cancellation. Okay, by now
Uh,
I'm rolling on the floor laughing. I'm going, dude, everything I play is an echo. It's a reverb echo. That's what a bowl and a gong are. And and it was like, well, is there any way to get around this? And he's like, yeah, you do blobbity blobbity and blobbity, and I'm like, it's so simple. And StreamYard, when I first met StreamYard, did not have the ability to change the sound. Zoom
mm.
does, and I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, let me show you. Yeah, this was like the magical potion to be able to actually play my music in a couple of platforms. Okay, so now I changed the sound. So I start echoing, and instead of cutting it out, it will
Oh,
keep on going. Can you tell the difference? See,
love it.
over here it sounds great, but for you guys, it was like pure silence. And it was so funny when we all got locked down. People were like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to use Zoom. And I'm online like, do this, do this, do this, do this. And people would come back to me. Sound healers are actually extremely competitive beings. I noticed that after a while. And they would come back on and go, you're actually going to show me how to do that? And I'm like, yeah, dude, we need every one of us online doing sound healing to change the frequency of what is going on. Period. End of story. No competition. We need us all online.
Yes.
And my perspective has
Jody,
been,
can you turn off the echo? Because my voice is
we're
echoing.
echoing now. Yes, excuse me. Echo cancellation. There's a reason for that. Sorry.
Let me check. Mm.
Okay, here
Yeah.
we go. Is that better? Yeah, there's a reason why we have echo cancellation. Our voices echo. So yeah, it's been fun mastering something that can broadcast, because I'm shamanically trained. I've been trained for that for 35, 36 years. The bowls came into my life 18, 19 years ago. And like you were saying about Reiki and healing, being able to broadcast the energy of what I'm playing is 99% of what I'm doing. Mastering the technology so y'all can hear it is the rest of it. That's
Yeah.
1%. Because I
Mhm.
can do long distance healing. I can read people without them being here. Like
Yeah.
somebody will get on a session and I'm like, um, tell me
Yeah.
what's going on with that chakra. I can hear that it's out. What's up. That's like you reading with Reiki. I'm reading with sound. So it's the
Yeah.
same kind of thing,
hmm
which
hmm
is cool.
Yeah. Each one of the healers just need their own instrument to read
Yes.
intuitively. But,
Yes.
we kind of need a physical instrument. For me, it's not physical like sound, but it's through the mind, I guess.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
Mm.
Now we were cheating last night and talking, so we could figure out if we could do this. Actually, I learned, which I didn't know, that Jyoti is coming in on a phone, and I didn't know we could do phone to this, which is really
Yeah,
cool. Actually, I know I have to be on the computer, but other people don't. Um, we were talking about your Ayurvedic. Did I say that right?
yeah,
Training
pretty
and
close. Yeah, Ayurvedic. Mhm.
Ayurvedic, going out to California to learn to touch the pulse. That is
Yes.
always tell me about that. That's always
Oh
fascinated me.
my gosh. So yeah, I'm not done. Each time I get certified in one thing, I say,
Mhm.
okay, this is it. I don't need to study anymore. In fact, Jodi, when I came to you, we did an exchange. You came to me for Reiki and
Mhm.
massage, and
Mhm.
I came to
Mhm.
you for sound healing.
Mhm.
And
I
I
remember.
remember you telling me, I don't know if you remember this, but you just picked up stuff intuitively and you told me and you wrote it down. You wrote down something also for me. But you said to me, you don't need to be learning anymore. You don't need to study anything else anymore. And it was interesting because at that time I was contemplating, there was a course in Brazil uh, on, I don't know, one of the healing uh,
Mhm.
techniques. And I
Mhm.
was contemplating, should I go or should I not? But that was going to be a 3 month course. And that was that was holding me back because, didn't want to leave my kids for 3 months. And you told me, without me telling you what I was thinking, you don't need to learn anymore because you are, and then you wrote it down for me. You said, in case I forget, I'm going to write it. And I still have that piece of paper. You said you are a multidimensional practitioner and a teacher.
Ooh. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love when people. I'm channeling when I'm doing stuff
you're
like that.
channeling. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it just came to you.
that's cool. Yeah, yes, I
Yeah, and
agree.
you said you
I
don't need
agree
to.
with the Apples.
So
They
you
were
said
right.
you don't need to study anything. When you need it, it'll just come to
Come
you.
to yeah.
And yeah, and that's beautiful. But I still didn't stop learning. I still kept on getting,
See,
uh,
there's a difference here.
yeah,
Well, this schooling that we do in our traditions, practices, modalities is very much about awakening the memory of things that we've done elsewhere, because
oh,
I am one of these people where it's like, if I have to teach, I have to go back to school. I mean, I have a value on learning in the third dimensional human realm. I mean,
yeah,
learning in the Hathor realm is just like, it's just there.
yeah,
So, it's a yes and it's a sacred paradox of you've
yeah.
already got all the information. Now let's push the right little magic tones and buttons so that you
And
remember
kind of
exactly.
tune into that, just
Exactly.
like fine tuning a radio so you can pick up.
Exactly.
It's just setting your antenna right.
Exactly.
So yes, so now I'm learning Ayurveda.
Uh-huh.
And I have been wanting to learn that ever since you know, since 2011 when I was studying massage. We did a little bit of Eastern modalities. And I was
Hmm.
like, oh, I want to learn Ayurveda. And I thought I was going to learn more about food healing and, which herbs to use for what ailments and such.
Hmm.
But oh my God, there's a lot more to that. It is so spiritual and so profound, and it's a science. It is
Hmm.
Ayurveda. The meaning of that means the science of life, and
Ooh, I never knew that.
yeah. So Ayur
Yeah.
means life, and Veda
Uh-huh.
means wisdom. So
Okay.
wisdom of
Wisdom
life.
of life. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm
Nice.
learning a lot more. I mean, it's very spiritual. And when I was telling
Mhm.
my daughter Meena, it's like, did you know Ayurveda is so spiritual? It's not just food healing. She's like, duh, mom, it's a Veda. All the Vedas.
You love the wisdom of your kids, like,
I know,
Mom,
I know.
where have you
Vedas are
been?
spiritual, right? So, yeah, yeah.
Out of the mouths of babes.
I know. Yeah, these are just old souls, All my kids, all my three kids are old souls, I can tell. Sometimes they're teaching me stuff that I didn't even think about.
Yes.
So, yes, so I'm going to go to California in March. And
Mhm.
I want to be there and do this hands on, although they are allowing us to do it on Zoom,
Mhm.
this
Mhm.
week long hands on
Mhm.
training.
Mhm. Mhm.
But because it's the pulse reading, they're going to teach us how to read a pulse. So I'm going to hold, just like any doctor, they
Yeah.
hold your pulse and they feel it. But
Mhm.
so what I gather, and I'll confirm to you after I learn it.
Yeah,
What I'm
yeah.
understanding is I will be able to tell the person's blood pressure, heart rate, which is normal, right? But also
Uh-huh.
mental status and anxiety related stuff, and uh, how is their blood circulation, and a lot going in a lot deeper than we think.
Mhm.
A pulse can do.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I know, I can't wait. I can't wait to I mean, because it's just for me as the auditory
Yeah,
empathic one, the thought of touching somebody's pulse and getting information is like, "Whoa, that's a different way to read. I don't know how to do that."
I know.
Can't
Yeah,
read that book.
it's beautiful. Yeah.
That is so
Mhm.
cool. Okay, Benny has a question. Are crystals used with sound bowls? Mine are. um, Let me see if I can't get the camera over there. Okay, hold that thought. I'll be right back. Okay, I think this is the B. So without playing it, because I got to adjust sound again. I use crystals with metals, and so this is the chakra B. This is the crown. You have to have something in the bowl, whether it's metal or crystal, so they doesn't rattle and crack things. So I actually bought sticky cork and sticky them together because that will anchor the crystal. And I bought a chakra pyramid organite for each chakra. So it's got crystals and copper and stuff in there. So I can actually play this and you don't hear anything rattling around in there. And in the metal bowls, um, I will sometimes, if somebody's getting a bowl treatment, put crystals in the metal bowls or around them or on an altar next to them. I mean, I've got crystals all crystals all over. This house has a lot of crystals. And for me, everything's vibrational frequency. So this is a crystal bowl, which has crystals in it. The metals are from the earth too, and the crystals will take that energy and broadcast it even further. And copper broadcasts too. So, yes, definitely use your crystals. When I get new crystals, or I am this one's about to be adopted by somebody, I will have the crystals supercharged and cleansed with the sound. That's one of my smudging techniques. And if I've got a bowl that I'm selling, I will play it for a while so that, there are Hathor energies in it and put it with crystals in the sunroom and put it with the gongs. So it's sort of a multi-dimensional. They will work with each other to get as high frequency as they can before I'm ready to use them with anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I,
actually,
I
crystal
love
healing
how
is.
all your bowls and instruments resonate with each other. And I saw that when I came
Oh
to
yeah,
Arkansas. It was
yeah.
amazing. Hmm.
Well, and that's the Hathor way of doing energy work is weaving. They talk about weaving all the time,
Yeah.
and they taught me how to play concerts that way. And I'll illustrate. Yeah, I can illustrate over there where when in some of the concerts I'd have mics on the bowls. It was a little fancy. It was fun. And the big Jumbati bowls with the deep notes, I would have mics laying on the surface, ground, or wherever I was, in between a couple of bowls so that I would get the depth, the deep note, and that would be the drone. That would be the background weave. And then the medium bowls, I would get those going. So now I had two layers, and then I would have the baby cup bowls and get those going. and the drum bodies would ring out for a really long time, and then the cup bowls would stop the fastest. So the way that my guides taught me to play was to get the layers of the weave. It's like braiding, hair or something. Get the layers going where I could have all three layers going at the same time and just doing this really cool sacred geometry. And then, I like to add crystal bowls and have crystals laying there and have nice lights and do a bar chime over here and a koshi chime. I mean, it's a way of playing music that is very channeled for me. And
Oh, yeah.
crystal healing was one of my first modalities 35 years ago. That's
Mm.
how I started. Crystal healing and tuning forks that were from Germany, and drumming. And crystals are always a part of all my healing. I mean, they're all over the house, So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, thank you, Benny. That's always, always, always. So what I'll do, I think I'm going to flip the camera and I'll show you what the weave looks like. Actually, I'll show you what the weave sounds like, so you guys can get some peace from the music. Let me change my sound. Let me change my camera. Okay. And hopefully I will not go stick my face in the middle of the camera like I kept doing when I was testing everything. I rearranged the room. Okay. The echo cancellation off. Get the stereo on because I got a stereo mic. Okay. So, big whompers, big bowls. So all three of these are F-ish heart bowls. So I got that weave going, and then I'm going to add some medium size. So I've got 2 layers going here. And then I'll add the babies. So all 3 layers are going. It's just hard. They start ringing out. And then I've got some different sounds of the mediums. And for those who wanted to know about crystals, I've got them sitting right here on the table that I'm playing on. It's a huge chunk of selenite. So that's how, and then you have to end with something fun like this. Okay, I had a bell in here, so there you are. Where this? Okay, change.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Okay,
Very, very meditative. Yeah.
there we go.
Mm.
So yeah, so that's the way, that's weaving. And I mean, I'm running sound through prayer, through the pyramids in here, through the crystals in here, and intention. It's always about the intention of broadcasting for the highest good. I don't direct energy at people. I broadcast. If it's a client, there's permission to actually infuse them with energy, but I'm very careful about sending stuff. You get a tingle in your crown. Well, I'm playing F's and B's. That's basically what I was playing. It's a whole collection of head and heart, which is the heart math combination. So, yeah, that's what we do. So, you came up here to do some sound training with me. That was fun.
Yeah. And I want to say to everyone who's listening, so I am not, I'm not a percussionist or anything close. And all those people who came for that workshop are not professionals either. But when we were playing with Jodi in that space,
Hmm.
you see, the space already has the vibes because of what you do. And
Yeah.
then you were present there, you know, channeling all that
Yeah.
energy. But when we played, it was unbelievable.
It
I
was.
didn't think it would sound like that. It
Yeah.
sounded more than it was very, we were in a spiritual space. We were in like a different dimension, it seemed.
Yes.
It
Well,
was
and
magical.
I Benny's talking about ancient societies. Yeah, I'm in the same room with grandfather Bull. This dude, who's extremely old, one of my friends who can transcribe ancient languages. Let me see, where are you? Which just has an etching on it.
Oh, it has writing on it. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Hmm.
he could date it back about 1,000 years, and
Where's
this
that from?
um, it came through Nepal, as most of my bowls did.
Yeah.
Kathmandu. Some come from India,
Mhm.
and this bowl, um, I bought this in the first 3 months that I was exposed to bowls, and it was like, "Who is that? I need that." And the monk that made it is one of my guides.
Mm.
A pushy shit.
Mm. Wow. Oh
I was
my God,
I
that's
was in
amazing.
I was in Colorado. I'd come from California to Colorado on top of 9,000 feet up, house sitting, playing grandfather. Grandfather is a term of honoring in the native tradition I was trained in. So he was grandfather. My Lakota teacher, this was his favorite bowl when he was alive. And we're, minding our own business on top of the mountain. And grandfather bowl says, "Oh, by the way," okay, I've learned when somebody says, "Oh, by the way," to me, I know I'm in trouble. Things are going to change. "Oh, by the way, we're going back to Texas." And I'm like, "Oh, hell no. I escaped once for 10 years." And I'm like, and let's get logical now. You've never been to Texas. You come from overseas. Forget this. We're not going
You
to.
know, yeah.
I'm arguing like a human, right? And
Mm.
called a friend of mine who I used to know very well when I lived in Texas the first time. She picks up the phone. I don't say a word. She picks up the phone and goes, "Oh, I hear you're coming back to Texas." And I'm like, "Oh, great.
Wow.
You and the ball are in cahoots now."
Yeah, confirmation, right? You were like, okay, I guess I gotta go.
Well, and I had not done music. I had not done concerts. I'd done shamanic healing. I learned that in Texas. And she and I basically booked, 12 gigs for me around Texas, some of the places I had lived already. And it was like, okay, now I have to go play music for people and charge money for it. And oh my god, I think they call that imposter syndrome now. It was just like my hysterical. And I actually got this lesson still in Colorado because my integrity thing is I'm charging people money to play music and I don't know what I'm doing. And I was doing a concert for people in Denver, and when I'm playing with the little red wands and playing the bowls I have, including him, and having a chat after everybody's out cold, and the container set and the safety set and all that. So I'm having a chat with the guides, and I'm like, "Why did you choose me to do this? I mean, come on, dudes, choose a musician."
Mm.
And they're going, "You've been trained shamanically for 15 years to get out of the way so you can channel information.
Yes.
And I'm like,
So true. Yeah. Yeah. So true.
that part,
Our
that
human
part
side is always in the way and not allowing things to come through.
and I'm sitting there on, the floor going, that part's really easy. And there the guides are going, not for most humans. And I'm like, okay, so what you're telling me is you are actually working, these are Hathors, you are working through my body using it to play the music. And I don't have to have a PhD in music before I can play the music. And they said, we would prefer you didn't. Cornell actually told me the same thing. I
Yeah.
don't want you to learn music, it'll ruin
Yeah.
you.
Because then
And
you get conditioned with the stuff you don't need to know.
well, and
That-
once they said that, it's like all my inner kids went, "Oh, thank God. Woo, we can watch this. It'll be fun." The adult part of me is going, "Oh, you mean I'm getting trained by you?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah." And what they said that day was, you have two of those things called hands. Pick up a stick in the other hand. And that's how it started. Okay, we're going to teach you how to weave. We're going to teach you how I mean, it's just been an amazing way to be in school
yeah.
with the original ones that infused these bowls.
Yeah.
So grandfather and 100 other bowls and I went to Texas, and I
Wow.
was the first throw the bowls on the blanket sound healer with ancient Tibetan bowls to ever come to Texas. And the assignment was teach people how to do this. We need sacred sound on this planet. And I
Yeah.
mean, by the time I left Texas a year ago, it was like, man, Texas is filled with sacred sound healers and people who have a bowl, people who will play it at home, people who will meditate with one. I mean, that's the point. But yeah, this grandfather bowl is the whole, oh, we're going back to Texas. You've never been there.
I know. I know. The stuff they make you do, right? Like,
I know that, when I negotiated this move, I'm like, okay, for 35 years, I have said, show me where to go next to be of service. And they're like, yeah, you've done a good job with that. Okay, we're not doing that this time. I'm going back to nature. Show me where to go to be of service in nature. And then
yeah,
to get
in
Lawrence on.
nature.
Lawrence is
Mm.
like, go back to the trees. And I'm like, okay. So here I am. So yeah, but it's playing music. I mean, for me, music is a hear, feel experience, and it is a prayer. It's like photography for me. It's all prayer. It's all Ho'oponopono. It's whatever can be
Yeah.
broadcast in a sacred sphere, a medicine wheel
Yeah.
that we can do together. And I love that part of playing music because it's not just banging on metal. I mean, it's
Right.
not, it's entering into relationship with the instruments.
Yes.
So
And I
that
saw
was
that.
really that was really fun with you guys because yeah, I mean, people that were in the room would go, some would say yes, I'm a musician, and some would say no, and we all did an amazing weaving
Yeah.
co-creation together. It
Yeah.
was
And
fun.
you did record it, right? Did you send me the
Yeah,
recording?
no, I haven't edited.
Ah,
I've got the recordings of the
yeah.
class.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to hear that.
Yeah,
It was magical. I mean, it was like I couldn't believe we were actually doing that because some of us have never played anything before.
and
So,
that was the class. We had Phyllis in that class. We went downstairs because she
yeah.
sings Language of Light.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
We
And then
forgot
I
about that. Oh,
chanted
that's
the
recorded.
mantras too. Yeah. We,
Yeah,
mhm.
I need to go listen to that. Find the backup disc. It's on there somewhere. Yeah, I mean, it's a miracle and amazing and magical what sound can do
Yeah.
when we get. And this is what Cornell used to say to me, because Cornell is a human who has been trained as a musician from the age of 3 on. He's phenomenal. He's a flute
Oh,
player.
wow.
And we were introduced. He was my birthday present one year. He was
Oh,
11. I met him, and I had a bowl that would not play,
oh,
and he had a flute that would not play. And they
whoa.
both met
Was it
each other
the
and went,
space?
"Ooh!" And man, they were all singing and playing, and we just looked at each other and said, "I guess we're supposed to play together." And I mean, he was the one that said, these bowls have notes. No, I just play the ones that feel right. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
Now I
he
know.
knows music
He knows
as
music.
it's supposed to be played, but you
He
just played through
he
inspiration.
he would look at me and go, "You don't know any of the rules of music. You break every rule of music, and it works." And I'm like,
It's
"Yeah,
beautiful.
well, it's just sacred, you know."
Yeah,
so,
secret. Yes.
so yes, I'll pull out those. I'll have to look for I get everything off my computers because they take up room, but I need to get the music we played and get that out to everybody because that
Mhm.
that was very magical that weekend. It was really
Yes.
cool.
Mhm.
You didn't
Mhm.
know that Cornell story. Oh my God. Kim! So good to see you. Speaking of traveling around Texas and landing at Kim's house, I have had a lot of near deaths, and I would always go to Kim's house after a near death because she had a rule: no dying on my watch. I still remember Cornell and I were working on you, Kim, one day, and we had the exact same notes. The bowl had never changed the note, which can happen with ancient bowls, and the flute obviously doesn't change notes. You needed it to go from heart to power, and my bowl changed its note, and everything clashed right there. We're like, what just
Oh.
happened? uh,
Wow.
the experimentation we've done over the years.
Yeah, yeah. You and Cornell are such a team. Oh my gosh, the
Well,
two of you
it's
together.
two inner 2-year-olds playing together, and I mean, and when you're trying to be professional in a concert, and then the inner kids look at each other, we just bust out laughing. It's like, are we just, I'm like, sorry, so much for professional. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dallas Meditation Center days, definitely.
Oh, yes, such sweet
So,
memories.
it was sweet. So you're heading off to California
In March, yeah.
in March.
I'm gonna be, yeah, and I decided to drive down because of the pandemic. I don't want to take a flight.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make it fun. I'm gonna
Oh,
stop
yeah.
at different places. And of course, I know for sure I'll stop at Sedona and
Yeah.
spend at least one night there, one day,
Yeah.
one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be
No,
fun.
tell me where the school is again. I think you might have told me last. I don't remember.
It's
Where's the
it's in
school?
a place called Milpitas. It may be close to San Jose. I don't know. I haven't been there, but
Okay,
Milpitas. I
so
don't know.
Northern
Have you heard of it?
California. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
have.
Yeah.
Northern California. Oh, that's going to be an outrageous drive. So Mount Shasta, if you go a little more north.
Mm.
Um,
Mm. Ooh, yeah.
yeah, the trip that
Okay.
I took with my friend Sherry, we had to break in
Mhm.
my new truck. It's 2017.
Oh yeah, I remember. Michael. Michael,
That was
right?
fun. I know. I have like 13,000 miles on a almost a 5-year-old truck, and 4,000 of those miles were breaking it in, going to California and going all over the place like you're doing. It's like, what can we go see now? We went the southern route. We didn't go up north because we went
Mm.
back to where I used to live and back where she used to live in Idlewild in San Diego. So it's fun. It's fun driving like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful. This
It's
country is really pretty.
oh yeah.
It's very
It's
pretty.
yeah, and it's fun. And I like to go alone on a lot of these trips.
Yeah.
'Cause then you can be in your zone, you know. Yeah.
I used to, when I was traveling from California to Colorado to Texas doing the circuit with the sound healing, I
Yeah.
would, with my blind dog, she was my co pilot,
Oh.
Ace.
Mhm.
And I would have, okay, these were back in the days of CDs. So I'd have
Mhm.
all these
Yeah.
CDs piled together, and I would sing on the 21-hour trip because I'd get there in 2 days and just sing the whole
Mm.
time. It's just like,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to
Yeah.
practice singing now. Not that I do it in
Yeah.
public, but
Yeah. Mm.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, let
Mhm.
us know how the training goes. Have to have you
Of
back. I
course.
want to start having people back on, like when things are happening, going, ooh, what happened? Tell us
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun.
That'll
Yes,
be
I will.
fun.
Hmm.
That will be
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah.
So, I need to look and see who I have next week. This little. I know it's so funny. When I first started these, it was like, oh God, they have to be formal. I have to be normal. Fat chance. It's not going to happen.
Normal and formal just doesn't seem right
It
for
just
you and
does
me.
not cut it. Okay,
We
I
are far
have.
from normal.
There's nothing normal about me. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. I want to see all the notes. Okay, Barbara Gale is coming on. I think it's her birthday.
Oh, how cool.
She's coming
Okay.
on next Sunday. You know Barbara. She
Next
breathes
Sunday. Yeah. Yeah.
hands. Yeah, but it's turned from this is not formal. I get to chit chat with people I either
Yeah.
know and love or people I'm getting to know and love. Would the bowls open up any portals? Oh yeah, all the time. Gongs do too. Gongs are stargates. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
do.
Hmm.
So I am starting a somebody paid for a workshop I didn't have on the schedule, which is an intro to shamanic sound healing, and I'm this was last year, and I'm like, okay, you're telling me I got to invent this thing now, right? So I invented an every other Wednesday 2 hour shamanic sound healing Q&A practice on Zoom, whatever
Oh,
you want to know, explore thing structured like the women's groups. It's the same price. It's a 4 pack for 120 or it's 35 to drop in. And that starts on 2/2/22. Starts next
oh,
Wednesday.
nice.
So I will be teaching and practicing based on whatever it is that people want to know who are coming in, which will be really fun. I've been doing sound healing for 36 years. You
Yeah,
know,
it's time for a lot more people to learn that for
and
sure.
to learn, I mean, I have a certification training scheduled in Arkansas at the end of March. The group on Wednesdays is for the people that just have a list of questions and go, okay, go. Let's talk about this and play music. So if you are interested in any of that, go to the community page on my YouTube page because all of the flyers are in there. Affecting the ley lines. I don't know a lot about ley lines, but of course of course they will. So we're over time. Oh my God, I ran late. Sharon, thank you. I know I'll see you later on Johnny's and Jen Lynn's and Becca's thing. You work hard. Debbie, you too. Thank you, Jyoti. I love
Mm,
you. It's so good to hang with
I
my
love you
Scorpio
too.
sister.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
It is so good to hang with my Scorpio sister.
Yes, it was wonderful. Yeah, so great to
Yeah.
be with you. Yeah.
So all of you, all of y'all. I actually wasn't born in Texas. I
Yeah.
was born in
Yeah,
Montauk.
let's be Texan as much as we
But
can,
all
right?
y'all, it is really good to have you here and on both platforms, Facebook and YouTube. And if you could follow on YouTube, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my channel,
Yes.
station, whatever it's called. And Lori, let us know. Like, message me, find my email. It's up there in the scrolly thing somewhere, and let me know how tomorrow goes. Okay, because I am holding you in prayer, sweet one. And Jodi.
Yes, and let me just say this quickly. It just came to me. If any of you who are watching want to be on Sister Power, uh, if you're a healer, you're more than welcome. If you want to just be there, if you've
Mhm.
had a hard life, whether you've had a hard life or not, if you want to be there just to mingle with the other women and get all this healing, who doesn't need healing, right? So let me know. Let me know, and I'll add you, or let Jody know. She can add you too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
you're
do
free
you
to
do?
add.
You
I haven't
want
kept it. Mm.
do you want an email to be put on this, or how do you want people to contact you?
To contact me, yeah, sure. Let's put
Okay.
my email there. It's
Okay.
hands all light. Should I type it out, or
H-
do you have it? Uh,
Hang on. Let me get the thing.
yeah.
Hands, HANDSO
OLITE.
LIGT.
No, LITE.
Oh,
Light
LITE. LITE.
at
Handle light.
gmail.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
Email.
Or you can just, if you know Jodi, just reach out to her and she can also add
Yeah,
you
I'll
to
get
Sister
you on
Power.
too. This is on Facebook, by the way. That's the platform that's on. Okay.
Hmm.
Got it, got it, got it. And I'll put it in this will go away after we're done, the live stream chat, and disappear
Right.
for a day. So I'll put it on the other one. Okay, guys, have a wonderful Sunday night. Love you all.
Thank you all for joining us.
Next
Namaste.
week. Bye.
Bye.